Well, hello everybody. It's Romania Black, and this is interesting. So I'll be honest, I saw One Piece was coming out with a live action, and I was honestly not excited at first. I didn't watch the live action Cowboy Bebop. I did watch the live action Death Note, which you've maybe seen on this channel. But I was not sure how to take a One Piece live action. I was like, because my immediate reaction was, how? Because if truth be told, I have been reading One Piece since around 2002. So, probably for about 21 years, I have been reading One Piece, which is insane to think about. The very first chapter of One Piece I ever came across was my brother and I went to a convenience store, and they used to sell Shonen Jump magazines, and my brother was like, oh, we have to get these. So we'd go and get our monthly Shonen Jump, and we would open it up, and there would be like a chapter of 10 different manga series. And I remember opening it up, and I saw there was a Bleach chapter that got me into Bleach, and then there was this other chapter, and in that chapter there was a guy that could turn into rubber, and he was putting his hat on top of a redheaded girl's head, and she was crying, and he comforted her by putting the hat on her head and went to go fight the bad guy. And I was like, I like this. What is this? And so that was the issue with Nami and Luffy, and they had an interaction, and I went back after that and started the comic from the beginning, and I've been reading ever since. So yeah, there were a couple arcs that I skipped out on, and we'll talk about that. My brother is actually going to join us for these reactions. Not this one, unfortunately. He had to work, and so I told him I would go ahead and record episode 1. He's already watched it, so but he is going to try and sit with me and talk with me through, I think, the rest of the series, episodes 2 through 8, we're going to try to do together as a sibling duo, because I really liked having him for Arcane. We have very different tastes in anime and manga, but we both love One Piece, so he was like, oh, I'll watch it with you, and I was like, yes, cool. And so we can talk about like how we got started with the series and everything, and do all that. But I've had a lot of people request that I watch One Piece, and I was like, well, I'm keeping up with the manga now. I haven't read the last couple chapters, but I've been keeping up with it, and I've been watching some of the new episodes, and they've been amazing. So I've seen the anime, and I'm not going through 1,076 episodes on this channel. I'll be 50 before I finish it. I'll be as old as Oda before I finish it. So I thought, well, you know what? This is only 8 episodes. And it's basically like a live action 1 hour special each. It feels like, an episode of Game of Thrones. It's like the anime. If this ends up being the anime Game of Thrones, I'm going to be so excited. But I was really happy about it. And what really sold me on watching live action with you all on this channel is the fact that Ichiro Oda has been very involved in the production, which again, like Game of Thrones, George R. R. Martin being very involved in the production, giving his seal of approval. And I've watched the previews, I've seen some promotional material, and the amount of Easter eggs and things that if you're a fan of the series, and the dedication to that, I'm on board. I'm like, okay, cool. And I watched an interview with the young man that plays Luffy, and I honestly, when they said they were doing One Piece as a live action, I'm like, they'll never find a Luffy, because how can you make Luffy into a character? And so far what I've seen, I'll reserve my judgment for after this episode, but so far what I've seen, I'm like, were you born to do this? So, we shall see. Did Oda create you in a factory somewhere? But I'm really excited. I'm very excited. It's an hour-long episode. It's going to be fun each week. I know these all came out in bulk. I'm going to try to do an episode a week because it's probably all I can schedule in. But I'm really excited. I had to get a Luffy hat. It's got a strap on here because hats don't fit well on my head. So the strap is, ugh. I may take the hat off when we do discussions, but I think I'm going to wear it for the reaction. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm so excited, y'all. It's basically going to be, if you want to see me fangirl about One Piece, great. I am a little curious on how to do spoilers, because I know several people have said they're watching One Piece for the first time with me, and I'm like, oh, good. So I may have a spoiler corner at the end of the episode, kind of like what I did with another series where we have a spoiler corner where I can, My Hero Academia, I can we talk about spoilers here, and we'll just talk about the episode itself here as well. But I'll try to keep spoilers as a minimum, but if there are things from the manga and anime that I'm like, oh, they adapted that really well, or it's a little bit different, then I may talk about that. But I'm so excited. I don't watch a lot of live action on this channel or in general, and so it's gonna be different. Now, I am doing the actual dub not the Japanese dub. I know some people are like, the purists are going to watch it with. I do think it's really cool that they did the Japanese dub with the actual voice actors from the anime. Isn't that weird? I bet they feel so weird. I bet some of those voice actors have probably not dubbed these scenes or these lines in 20 years, and they're probably like, God, this is weird to go back and do it, right? But I wanted to do the actual dub, the actual actors and actresses playing the role, because much like I use Japanese subs, how I do Japanese subs, I like the original content, the original dialogue they've chosen. I am going to have subtitles, though. So we're going to do the English dub with subtitles, so that those of you that are not native English speakers watching this channel, or that, like me, like subtitles, will be able to see it as well. So I'm excited. The first episode's called Romance Dawn, which is the very first chapters of One Piece. I haven't gone back to the very beginning of One Piece in probably 15 to 20 years. So this will be a nice review of things that I haven't read in a very, very long time. So should be exciting, right? Should be exciting. But I hope you all enjoy this. This should be a lot of fun. But let's just watch it and find out and see what this is. They've said this is like $17 million an episode, which is insanity to me. But if it gets us sequels, I'm all for it. The Game of Thrones of live action anime. Let's hope that that's what this ends up being. So we're gonna start One Piece live action episode 1, and we're gonna do that here in 3, 2, 1, and ahoy, mateys! I'll see you all on the other side. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna fangirl throughout this entire series, I think. Oh my gosh, wow, well, that was a very good first episode. I always feel like hour-long episodes at the very beginning of a series are very hard to do, because you have to ride this very delicate balance. You want a series that's 8 episodes to build to a point where everything just gets more fast-paced as it goes. And yeah, you'll have moments where you slow down and have character development, things like that. But you don't want to start out like too crazy, because then you've set a pace and you can only go down from there. So they did a smart thing where they're like, we're going to we got 8 episodes to cover a lot of ground, right? One Piece is a very long series. The way that I was thinking going into this, knowing that there were only 8 episodes, I was like, okay, so the very first season or 2, or however they want to do it, the first season, they are just going to condense into 8 episodes. This is like the abridged version. I'm treating this as the abridged version of One Piece. If you don't want to sit through 1,076 episodes, then have we got the series for you? And you can basically do the abridged version, where you get the basics of what's happening in the arcs, but it's watered down enough to where they hit the beats, right? But for doing that, I thought they did a really good job. Like, the production value of this is insane. Like, it looks good. It looks really good. Like, the sets look good, all of the props. There are tiny little details in so much of this episode that I'm like, oh my God, just little callbacks to tiny little things that I remember from the manga that I'm like, that's so crazy. Like, just the idea, and Easter eggs they're trying to throw in, like the little labels on the boat, the label on the barrels, like the wanted posters, when they first see the pirate wanted posters, like little characters that you're like, oh, like Bellamy and stuff that are going to be characters later in the series that they're hinting at. Like, that's so cool. And then just little tiny things that they didn't have to do, but they did. So it's like, it's so neat. The thing about the fashion that I'm really looking forward to, and I was like thinking of One Piece as, Oda's really good at drawing fashion. It doesn't seem like you would think in a shonen anime manga series, but like the fashion's always really good in One Piece, especially in the color spreads. And I've noticed in a lot of the still shots that I've seen from the promotional material, the outfits they're wearing are from the color spreads. And I'm like, that's so cool. It just feels like a little Easter egg for all the viewers, like your favorite outfits they've been wearing, and all like the cover pages are now going to be in the series. It's cool, it's fresh, it's fun. Get them that Emmy nomination for costume design. Like, I'll take it. But I really, really enjoyed this first episode production-wise. It felt like the Game of Thrones of anime. Like, the production's really good. The acting is really good. It's a hard line, because One Piece is simultaneously really goofy and cartoony with some very heavy thematic themes running through it that you're like, okay, like it deals with racial prejudice, it deals with classism, it deals with capitalism, it deals with like slavery, it talks about like all of these major heavy issues, but it does so under the guise of this goofy pirate comedy that's like supposed to be cartoonish, but yet has some really heavy themes and really good character work. And that's what I love about One Piece the most, is that it somehow straddles that line expertly. And Oda does a really good job of making it just serious enough, but having some camp and fun to it. And I love that. I think that's so fun. And let's get the cat out of the bag. The CGI, I'm fine with it. It's great. The hard part about this series was always going to be Luffy. One, finding someone that has just that like innocence and charm that Luffy has, but not making him annoying. Because I know a lot of people don't like Luffy. They think he's annoying in the series. It honestly took me a long time to warm up to Luffy. It took me until like nearly halfway through the series to warm up to Luffy. But I love this actor. He is so good at being charming and having that little innocence naivete that Luffy has and being boundlessly optimistic, but it never feels phony and it never feels like over the top or annoying. It's like, it is a hard line to ride, and he just has this charm that is so good. Like, I love his character so far. I love his acting. Love it. Nami and Zoro, their attitude is everything that you would expect from the beginning. I love it. It's great. Zoro, like the actor playing him. The fun part is that a lot of, and some people probably already know this watching this, but there was an extra in the manga where Oda talked about what nationality because it's a Japanese manga, but not all the characters meant to be Japanese. So Oda talked about like what nationality each of the characters be, and Zoro would be Japanese, and Luffy would be Brazilian, and I think Nami was maybe Irish, or I know that Sanji, we haven't met him yet, he's French. And then, but there's different characters and they have different nationalities. And so I kind of like that they've found actors to play those nationalities, which is exactly what in a live action series would call for. I want to talk to this episode, and I'm going to try not to be too spoilery, but I want to point out little things that I noticed. In the crowd, so Gold Roger, we'll have a spoiler corner at the end of this discussion. Gold Roger, he's been killed. He was king of the pirates, and he's challenging everyone to go out and live their dream, and everybody is going out to find the One Piece. Now, what the One Piece is, who knows? But I do like that just in that opening shot there's a guy in a green cape. Can't imagine who that is, just watching what's going on. There's people in like just different clothing. The costume design is great in this series. I freaking love the costume design. The actor playing Gold Roger, yes, it looks like the stereotypical king of the pirates. Great. I cannot get over the fact that Garp has an Irish accent. Freaking love it. Absolutely love it. And they made his like beard a different color to make him look younger. It's great. I want this series to do well because I want more seasons, because there's so many characters that I never thought I would see in a live action format that I want to see in a live action format now, because this series has done really good. And what I like about it is the series has not gotten like super name actors to play characters. They're all like very relatively like fresh faces. I know the actor playing Zoro, KA had said when I posted on the community post, KA said that the actor playing Zoro is well known in Japan, and he's a very famous Japanese actor. His English is great. I love him. He looks like, I never thought I'd see a live action Zoro with green hair, and here we are. He looks wonderful. And that's the thing too, like One Piece has extremely cartoonish designs. Like Captain Morgan with the metal piece on his chin. It's supposed to be funny. Helmeppo, I didn't want to say his name in the episode because I was waiting for them to say it, but they never do. Helmeppo is the son of Captain Morgan, who has the purple suit on. Brilliant. He has the long blonde hair, but his signature haircut is the one we see with him at the very end, where it's cut all ridiculous and it looks so cartoony. And I love that that's his design at the very end. It's great. He looks great. It's hard for characters to pull off like really bright colored hair and not look just cheap or weird, but this series did an immaculate job with like the hair and makeup design. Looks great. I mean, Nami's hair does look kind of like a wig, but girl, to have orange hair like that and to be that color, how could you not? Like, look, she does a great job with it, right? And then I love setting up this relationship between Garp and Roger, like setting up their relationship as a Marine and as the king of the pirates, which feels by the end of this episode like the relationship between Kobe and Luffy, because Kobe wants to become a Marine and Luffy wants to become a pirate, and their relationship seems to mirror Roger and Garp's, which is so fun to see this early on, right? I love it, and they make it very serious. Like we see people in the crowd, and he talks about wealth. I like that we see someone there with the black hair. The thing about it is, I don't know who they are until we see them later. We see young Shanks. Yep, there with the straw hat. Mm-hmm. So I've heard a lot of people give Shanks' actor a hard time because he doesn't like. Here's the thing. I'm a simp for Shanks. Shanks is one of my favorite characters. He's freaking hot in the anime and manga. And I'll be honest, the actor playing him, is he the hottest actor they could have picked? Objectively, no. Subjectively, no. But what I love about his acting is he really embodies Shanks' spirit, because he embodies the spirit of like this kind of mentor figure for Luffy. And I liked like the way that he explained the lesson to Luffy of, you don't solve everything with violence immediately. Like that guy, we didn't have to fight him. We just cleaned it all up. My crew was ready to have my back, but I knew he wasn't worth my time. Like that's how you know Shanks is a powerful person, because he doesn't have to fight. He can pick and choose his battles. And so I thought that moment where he explains it was really well done. Now, from the preview of the season, we've not gotten the full backstory, but we know Luffy has ate this devil fruit and he's gained this power, and obviously now he has the gum gum fruit power and he can stretch like rubber. I thought the CGI was fine. I thought the CGI, they're very restrained with it, which I'm glad, because anytime you use CGI with live action, you run the risk of things looking cheap and looking bad. And I think that the fight choreography that they have works well, so that they can use the powers at a minimum, not only for cost effectiveness on their part, but also because if you know that your weaker point is this, being restrained with it is not a bad thing, right? Let the characters speak for themselves. Let the other parts of the episode speak for themselves as well. I like that. Now I can go ahead and say that in the manga, I'm pretty sure he gets his head chopped off. But we didn't want to be that gory on Netflix, so we did not do that. Instead, we all went off. I've always been a big fan of pirate series. I started reading One Piece about the time the Pirates of the Caribbean movies came out, and so I was in like a big pirate phase in high school. So this is like bringing back all sorts of nostalgia in the best way, shape, or form possible. I love we get to see the Pelican with the newspapers. It's great. And then basically the whole first part of this arc, it's so fun to see it brought to life. Like seeing Alvida of the Alvida Heart Pirates, seeing them brought to life. I love the actress that plays her. She looks great. The glitter bombs, like all the attention to detail. The attention to detail is amazing. Like just all the little things that they did that they didn't have to do. They take this so seriously. You can tell they put in the effort. You can tell they didn't skimp on the details. They're spending a lot of money on this, and it shows, but it's so good. I love it. It's just absolutely wonderful. And I mean, is it perfect? Well, I mean, no, but it's so fun so far. I wasn't bored. I was really enjoying myself. And I think the best part about it is if you have never watched One Piece before in your life, it's coherent. You get what the story is. You get everything. You're not missing a beat. Everything ties up together. They're picking and choosing the best parts to wrap up an episode and get a lot of things accomplished, which is fun. I like it. But if you have watched One Piece, I think that the way that they're doing it is highlighting all the stuff that needs to make it coherent. Like, this is not an easy task to take episodes and cut them down and make them flow without feeling like you've left all these parts and pieces out, right? And One Piece is a huge series. It's been going on for like 20 years. So trying to cut different things to make it work, yeah, you're going to leave stuff out, but the stuff they included I thought was pretty cohesive. There were parts I was like, oh, and if you're a One Piece fan, you know what they've left out. So you're like, are they hinting at this? What are they doing? The actor that plays Kobe, perfection. He's exactly what I would imagine. So far, everybody has been like what I would imagine them being. I'm really happy with the choices that they've made. The kid playing Kobe, bless him. He's so good at being Kobe, and he takes his role very seriously. You can tell. I love the actors playing both young Luffy and old Luffy. Luffy's actor I love him already. He's so enigmatic. He's so cute. It's so much fun. And then, and then we get him, like, the whole thing with Zoro and Mr. Seven. Oh my God, I love it with Broke Works. Yes. And the thing about it is they tease these little things that if you're a One Piece reader, you know is going to come out later on, but that showed up early on in the series. And so you're like, okay, the Broke Works, we know it's an organization. This Mr. Seven came to try to get Zoro, who's the pirate hunter. Didn't work out. We know that Garp's been chasing after Broke Works, so there's like a tie-in there. It's so good. I love it. And then just the guy playing Zoro did not skip gym day. Him, the actor playing Zoro, I'm like, oh, yes, please. Hello, sir. Yeah, Roronozoa, I'm so excited to see you. But yeah, there's like little tiny things like in the actual anime and manga, the bar is all enclosed, but it's like an open bar here, but it works really well. I think if I remember correctly, in the actual manga, the devil fruit was just sitting on the table and Luffy ate it. Here it makes much more sense that it was like hidden in the back room. Makes more sense. Now, I don't remember exactly, but the guy that they get in the argument with, he has a number 8 on his kimono. So again, it's been like 20 years since I've read this part. I'm like, does he end up coming back and being important? Maybe. We know that Shanks was at the execution of Roger, so we have that. And then, Nami, like, tricking the guys to steal the boat. Love it. I want to go back to the wall of pirates, like pirate posters. Back to the wall and seeing what we got. So she has a map book that shows her, like, the map. She just needs a map to the Grand Line. I like the way that they've, like, migrated from the map into Shellstown. Looks great. The attention to detail, like the marine patterns on all the buildings. It's so cute. I love it. Looks great. The marching of the marching of the Marines, it's again, it's comical and it's cartoony, but it works. They treat it just seriously enough, right? And then the big giant portrait of Captain Morgan. Ridiculous. So yeah, we have Bellamy, we have Foxy, Pirates Know Speak Up. What does this say? There's like all the distribution forced with Buggy, we get him on there. Right? Oh, man. We just got, like, lots of little Easter eggs all over here. It's great. And he's like, where's my poster? Lay's like, it's terrible. Where's mine? And then them all meeting at the bar. Like, little things are kind of like, okay, I will say this. If you've not read the manga, the little girl that has the rice balls, in the manga, there's extra parts where Zoro, while he is tied up by Morgan, the little girl comes to feed him, like during the manga, and that ends up happening. And they had to cut that out, but it's fine that they cut it out. She got to cameo here, and we got to see her, and they incorporated her and the idea of Zoro, like, feeling, you know, hey, she's just a little kid. Don't diss her like that. The guy playing Helmeppo, oh my God, he was maybe the highlight of the episode for me, because when I realized what arc we were doing, and I was like, oh God, Helmeppo is so corny. He's so cheesy and corny. He's so stuck up and snobbish. The son of the pirate, the son of the Marine captain, right? And he's such a hammy character. And I was like, are they going to be able to do him justice, but not make him so cartoony and over the top that it's, you know, like secondhand embarrassment? No! His actor was great! Helmeppo's actor was so damn good. I was like, that was the perfect balance of being just snooty and cheesy, but making it believable. I was like, and the suit. I like they had the longer hair and then they cut it at the end. The scene where he was like showing off the sword, I don't think that happens in the manga or anime, but I was like, why are we getting Helmeppo fan service? Why do I feel this way about Helmeppo? I'm automatically attracted to like blonde hair and blue eyes. Why are we getting Helmeppo fan service? I don't want to feel this way about Helmeppo. What's happening? I felt so embarrassed of myself. I've never once felt like the need to find Helmeppo attractive, but damn it, this show, that actor was like, if I am playing this corny character, I'm getting a nude scene. And they were like, sure. Oda was like, why not? I don't see a problem. Yeah. I really like Nami too. Like her actress, like the skirt and everything, like her outfit, it's perfect. Like it's great. And what I like about this is I don't know what is that? There's the light in the pool table, like what it says back there, like something full of foo or something. I wish I could see what that said. It feels like a brand for something in the show, but and then she's getting the uniform. It's great. Is it like food fool or food foo? I don't know. But then we have Captain Morgan. And again, Captain Morgan, ridiculous outfit, zebra pants, axe hand, is a comically created character, but the guy playing him has just fun with him. He does a really good job playing him. They could have made him a little bit more buff, but I'm like, no, I'll take it. He's like a hammy character. Like the start of One Piece is very comical and it's very comedic and played for laughs. And then as we get on, like judging from that end, like what we have yet to come, things will get more serious and delve into some more serious stuff later on. But oh my god, I love it so much. It's great. But yes, the demon stuff. And I liked how we got the idea of Zoro being the pirate hunter, but that, you know, he asked him to join the Marines. He says no. And then Kobe talks about his dreams of being in the Marines. And it's just so good. And then Nami and Luffy, like how they all meet up in this is just, it fits for what the show needs to be, right? It fits very well. And I liked the map chasing scene, them getting by, the idea of her stealing the keys. The humor of it is really tongue-in-cheek and it's fun. I like the humor in it so far. God, I will never get over Helmeppo's scene. The scene with him in the aviator shades and he's practicing with the sword. We get the idea from Zoro that third sword, the white one, is very important. He doesn't want anybody touching it. It's only used under certain situations. God, I love it. The guy that plays Helmeppo, he can get it. Saying that, it feels so weird. It's just great. I'm really interested in knowing the Japanese voice actors voicing some of these lines. I bet they're ridiculous. I might have to go back and rewatch this with the Japanese dub. But yeah, but then like going through and then finding, I love the chemistry between Luffy's actor and the other two. Because, yeah, at the very beginning, Luffy's this big, you know, comical, larger-than-life, put my hat on sideways. He's this big, larger-than-life character, and he has this infectious enthusiasm and optimism. And Zoro and Nami have kind of been around the block a few times, and they're kind of like, dude, what's your deal? And he just kind of like, his infectious personality ropes them in, right? And I just love how they both, neither of them want to admit being a crew with him, but yet at the same time, they're both following him. So it's just, he's like, I'm going to be nice and lure you into my crew. And it's so, so good. The fight scene was well done. I like the choreography for the fight scene. It was great. I mean, I'm glad they gave Nami the marine pants for the fight scene. Glad they did that. That was a smart choice. I love that Zoro, like, that slide Zoro does in when he first shows up was really clean and fun. I was wondering how it was going to work with Zoro having the sword in his mouth. Was it going to look ridiculous? But he somehow makes it badass because I think the actor playing Zoro takes it so seriously that you just kind of take it seriously too. You're like, yep. And like Luffy, so that's where it goes. I love the humor of it. It's great. And the three of them together, love it. It works out so well. And then he ends up like using the gum whip and he's like, all final moves have a name. And he's like, no, they don't, which is funny for reasons. And then they all get in the boat. Now, I don't think in the anime that does Kobe punch Helmeppo? I don't think so. But I like that they used it as a way to get Kobe back into the scene to say goodbye to Luffy. Like, no, I'm staying. I'm going to stay and join the Marines because that's my dream. And Luffy's like, okay. And I like that Luffy tells me, he's like, hey, you know, because Kobe gets kind of disillusioned because the girl wasn't helped back at the bar by all the Marines standing there. And Luffy's like, well, there are good pirates and bad pirates. And there's good Marines and bad Marines. But I'll be a good pirate. You be a good Marine. I love it. It's just so good. So good. And then we go back to Garp's ship. The transponder snails are amazing. That's one of my favorite parts of the episode, I think, too, because one of the coolest little things in One Piece are the transponder snails. It's like their phone to communicate with one another are these weird ass snails, but the snails look like the people that own them. As a kid, I wanted this to be real. It was the one aspect of One Piece I wish was real, and it was the fact that the snails could look like the people that are using them. I always wanted that to be a real thing. I thought that was so freaking awesome. And here it is. It's just, it's great. And then we see the guy standing next to him. I don't remember the guy standing next to him who he is, but I love that it's an Easter egg. I do remember okay, this is the pirate that's talking to Buggy. The pirate that's talking to Buggy. The reason why I said what I did in the reaction was, if you've ever watched Nun Piece, which is One Piece abridged, it was done by Purple Eyes WTF. I ate that shit up when I was a kid. I say a kid, I was in high school and early college. I ate that up. I loved Nun Piece, the abridged series. But this guy that shows up talking to Buggy, there's a scene where he'll come up later on in the series, and he's on like a unicycle. God, I hope he's on a unicycle. I hope he is. But in the abridged series, he like rolls up and Luffy's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Bold words for someone not on a unicycle." I swear I quote that like on a monthly basis. My friends and I will be like, "Bold words for someone not on a unicycle." But it's him. But it's him. He is not allowed near the nice furniture. God, that series. But yeah, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh my God. Like just the attention to detail. The fact that the moment you see a character, you're like, that's who that is. It makes me be like, I just want this show to be successful so I can see the characters from later seasons portrayed in this. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much. But, oh my God. And then the guy playing Buggy? Why is Buggy sexy? Why are we doing this? What is happening? It's not that Buggy's appearance is sexy, but his voice. I'm like, okay. It kind of sounds like the anime a little bit, but I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing this. So Buggy is Buggy is a comical character. He's so cartoony and over the top, but the series makes it work. Like if you suspend your disbelief going into this and know that it is meant to be campy and cartoony, but has serious moments and good character development, then if you are able to accept that, then I think this series does an amazing job of making it be serious enough where you're like, yeah, no, this is just part of One Piece. It's just part of the world. I'm so fangirly about it. I love it to pieces. To One Piece. Haha. But yeah, I tip my hat to episode 1. I freaking love it. So I want to have a spoiler corner to talk a little bit about the things yet to come from that trailer and the things that we have here. So our actors, I want to go through them real quick here. We had, oh my God, yes, we had, we're going to talk spoiler corners. Aren't we? Yes, we are. So, let me go back here. Netflix being silly. I want to go back to the actors to see all that. I do like the end credits being like the map and everything. So yeah, oh my gosh, just getting all these different characters, and it's so funny to see them like laid out on here. The petty officer. They say Hipoko in here. They say Hipoko in this, but I don't think that's right. Let me go back through this and see, because we had co-starring. Do we have like the actual crew, the main crew there? They didn't say like who was playing like the main crew. I guess we might as well look up like the cast. Okay, live action series. Emily Rudd playing Nami. She's really good so far. Inaki Gadoy playing Monkey D. Luffy. Makinyu is like the name of the actor. He's like just one name. Makinyu playing Zoro. Nice. Peter Gadiot plays Shanks. I like him so far. Morgan Davies playing Kobe. Oh, give me all the love. Freaking love him so far. Vincent Reagan as Garp, great. Love him in that. Any other characters that we've gotten so far that we've not seen in this? I want to say, who was playing Helmeppo? Aiden Scott. Aiden Scott, dude. All right. Love it so much. And then Colton Osario playing young Luffy. He was so good. So good. But yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this episode. I want to do a spoiler corner and talk about it and go with that. But before we get into spoiler corner, if you're not sticking around for spoilers, I'm so glad to be watching this series. It's so fun so far. I hope you all enjoyed this first episode. My brother is going to join me with the second episode and hopefully the third and beyond, but he'll be fun to talk to about this as well. So with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and if you're not joining me for the spoiler corner, then I'll see you next week for episode 2 of One Piece. Spoiler corner. Oh my god. So yeah, I was trying not to say spoilers throughout all this, but I was just like, oh my god. And I know I probably said some character names that people were like, who is that? I know that's Dragon at the very beginning, and Mihawk was in the very beginning too. I was like, oh my god. In the voice actor cast, there was a young Smoker. I miss Smoker. I was like, wait, Smoker's there too? Yes! My brother and I were talking, and we were like, where do you think the series in 8 episodes is going to end? And my brother's like, I don't think they're going to make it back to Log Town. I think they're going to save Dragon and Smoker and Tashigi for season 2, if they make season 2. I think they'll start season 2 with that and go from there. And then I'm just like, seeing all these characters in the live action form, like, can you imagine live action Ace? Live action Ace, Doflamingo, Crocodile, Vivi, Chopper would have to be CGI. Chopper would have to be like a puppet, or like a puppet with CGI elements or something. Same with Brooks, right? Would have to be like CGI elements. And then Frankie would have to have probably some CGI incorporated into it. But Robin, but it's just, so yeah, I really like that. I'm so like, Dragon, and the funny thing is, I'm sure people were like, well, Luffy's Brazilian and Garp is Irish. How does that work? But I'm like, in the actual show, Garp and Luffy look nothing alike, and Dragon and Luffy look nothing alike. Like, none of the monkey family look alike at all. And I like that the wanted poster at the very beginning just says Gold Roger. Like, we're not going to talk about the Will of D yet. We're not going to reveal that yet. We just say Garp. We're not saying Monkey D. Garp. We're not talking that it's Luffy's grandpa. We're not doing that yet. Like, those that are just getting into the story for the first time will get those reveals as they come, right? And I think that's very smart of the show to like make those reveals be a thing. So if you're joining One Piece for the first time, it's not going to be like, well, what the hell does all this mean? You'll find out as we go. And just like the parallels of Garp and Gold Roger, and then Luffy and Kobe, and where Kobe ends up being. The funny thing is, Helmeppo's hairstyle at the beginning is what it ends up becoming later on in the series. So I feel like that was a nod to be like, see, Helmeppo's going to look real good with the long blonde hair when it grows back out. But we're going to cut it just for the little point there so you know it's Helmeppo. I'm like, just so good. But then like Buggy and the pirates there. But Buggy's whole thing is probably, from what I remember at the very beginning, it's probably like the part that I don't like clowns. So I think I skipped over that part the most in the beginning of the series because I'm not a clown person. But I'll do it for Buggy in this live action. Buggy's so funny and weird that I'm like, I don't know. But I just loved this. And of course, since I'm caught up with the manga, how smart it is that when Luffy as a kid finds the gum gum fruit, that it's in a secretive box. And there was a box on the ship that was from the Marines that had been stolen from the Marines, because we were just finding out in the manga that the fruit was originally taken from the Marines all the years ago, and that it's a special fruit, but it's just the decisions made are very reflective of the manga where they are now, and which is Oda's input, right? So I trust Oda that he's been kind of overseeing the changes that they've made to make it in line with what he wants. I like that. Mihawk in this. Oh my god. The guy that looks like Mihawk. Oh, I'm so ready to fangirl about him. I'm like, yes, please, yes. Let's go back to that trailer that we see at the very beginning. Again, the transponder snail just gets me, right? And so the idea of what's to come on One Piece. And so, Kuro! Kuro with the blade fingers! He just pops out of nowhere! He looked so good in that trailer! I was like, oh, Kuro's gonna be here! Are we getting Lamb Man? Are we getting Lamb Man? I'm gonna freak out about the freaking sheep man. Oh my god, but Kuro with the blades, and then they show buggies like with the parts all moving. Yes, I'm like, it looks pretty good. They all have the different outfits. Mihawk, oh my god. I know everybody, I remember everybody on Twitter getting all bent out of shape about Arlong and the fish people, but let's be realistic. We are spending a lot on CGI already. I feel like Arlong looks fine. The fish people look fine. If you're gonna make them into a live action, they have to look human enough because they're actual actors playing them. We can't make them all CGI. And I'm sure they didn't want motion capture suits for every single person. So I like the fish people designs. I think they're fine. Obviously, Arlong's like he's like a saw shark. So obviously his nose could be longer. I think it's fine. I think it gets the point across. They are supposed to look different, right? The fish people are supposed to be a different class. It's going back to those heavier themes, right? About classism and prejudice. And so I feel like it's fine. But then like Sanji, his ship, yes please. Usopp, yes please. We got the people from Shanks's crew where we have Usopp's dad as part of the crew. The attention to detail of Shanks's crew is really good. I liked that a lot. I thought that was really good. And then the idea of having a plan, Buggy and the pirates, Usopp's there. I like it. And then I love all the details with, and we're gonna see Maribel. I'm not ready for that. Not ready for Nami and all of that going on. Not ready for it. There was a shot where she had a bandage on her arm. I'm like, I'm not ready to see her like carving the tattoo again. That's where I started. I started out the series. The very first chapter I read was of Maribel dying. And I jumped in going, what is this story? And Luffy putting the straw hat on Nami's head. That's where I started One Piece. And I was hooked from that one chapter. I'm like, I gotta go back and start from the beginning and catch back up to this. And then I was hooked. So yes. But yeah, I love all of this so far. And then Arlong Park, like everything. The stuff with Mihawk. Oh my god. And the stuff with Sanji. Sanji already looks great. I'm just like, yes, please. And then Kuro. Oh my god. And then, yes, it's so fun. I seriously want to binge, but I don't think I can. My brother has certain days off, so him and I might watch like 2 episodes at a time to record. I don't know. It depends on our schedules. But he definitely wants to join me for the next one, which is exciting. So I'm in love with this series so far. It's so much fun. I cannot wait to talk more about it. So this first episode started out like just safe enough just to get you into it. But so I'm excited to hear your comments down below, but I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yes, I'll be back very soon with more One Piece.